The management report has been designed to provide you with a snapshot view of performance over the past month, quarter, and 12-month period. This performance is then compared to the same time period in the previous year. The first page you're presented with in the management report is the "If you were only to read one thing" page. This page has been designed to provide an overview of performance over the last 12 months and highlight the main focus areas for the business going forward. The page is divided into two columns. The "What Worked Well" section highlights those KPIs that have improved in the most recent 12 months compared to the previous 12 months. And the "What Didn't Work So Well" section highlights those KPIs whose performance has deteriorated in the last 12 months. The next page presents a graphical overview of performance over the last 12 months. The reporting month selected within your portal is displayed on the left-hand side of the page. This is then followed by performance over the last quarter and the last 12 months. Graphs are displayed for revenue, gross margin as a percentage of revenue, overheads, and net profit performance. The historical revenue performance page analyzes your key sales nominals. You are provided with some commentary, which highlights overall and individual nominal performance, bar charts analyzing performance for your top 5 nominals by value in the most recent month, quarter, and 12-month period compared to the same period in the preceding 12 months. The table below then displays performance for each of the top 10 sales nominals by value over the same time period. If there are more than 10 sales nominals used in the chart of accounts, the remainder are then consolidated into the other line. The performance trend over the past 6 months for each of the top 5 sales nominals is then displayed at the bottom of the page. Cost of sales are then analysed in the same way, with bar charts analysing performance of the top 5 nominals over the latest month, quarter, and 12-month periods, a table displaying the data for the top 10 cost of sales nominals over the same time periods, and graphs displaying performance trends for the top 5 cost of sales nominals over the past 6 months. In addition to this, there is also analysis of total cost of sales as a percentage of revenue and an analysis of the top 5 cost of sales nominals as a percentage of total revenue for the past 12 months. Overhead nominals are then analysed in exactly the same way as the cost of sales nominals. The only difference you may find is that the value of the other line within the table will be considerably higher than that in the cost of sales table. This is because a business will generally operate with more than 10 overhead nominals. The preceding pages are then summarised on the historical net profit performance page. Profitability, profit as a proportion of revenue, and the number of months in which a profit is generated are all commented on in the opening paragraph. The table below the opening paragraph then summarises revenue, cost of sales, margin and margin as a percentage of revenue, overheads and overheads as a percentage of revenue, and finally net profit and net profit as a percentage of revenue. The drivers behind the movement in profitability from the previous 12 months to the most recent 12 months is then analysed. A blue block indicates that driver has had a positive impact on profitability, and an orange block indicates that driver has had a negative impact on profitability. The final page analyses balance sheet performance in the most recent month compared to the same month in the previous year. The opening paragraph describes the drivers behind the movement in net worth, the movement in the current and cash ratios, and total debt to equity ratio. The opening paragraph also explains why these ratios are important to the business owner. These ratios are then summarised in the table below, with a cross indicating a negative movement compared to the same month last year, and a tick representing a positive movement. Balance sheet movement over the past 12 months is then summarised in the table below. The balance sheet performance page also analyses debtor days movement over the past 12 months and the movement in creditor days over the same time period. Finally, there is an analysis of the top 10 current asset and current liability lines.